Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for probably the most hyped up issue of this week, Forever Evil issue 1, the start of the 7-issue, I think, story arc. I think it's 7 issues. But I was totally excited for this issue. I think Trinity War was the prelude to this humongous Forever Evil event. And something big was supposed to happen with Nightwing, which it does. And I warn you guys, I will have spoilers in this review, so if you haven't read it yet, I recommend you read the issue, or if you don't mind spoilers, continue with the review. But let's talk about the cover. Oh, before I start talking about Forever Evil, I do have a couple updates. First update is I have 2 in-depth reviews for Villain Month on Dark Avenger Inc. because we are reviewing every Villain Month issue for Dark Avenger Inc. All the reviewers on Dark Avenger Inc. are going to review or cover every Villain Month issues. So we will have coverage for every Villain Month issue between all the reviewers on Dark Avenger Inc. So don't worry. So here are the in-depth reviews I did for Dark Avenger Inc., which is Gorilla Grodd, Flash issue 1, or Flash issue 23.1. and Poison Ivy issue 23.1, Detective Comics. So definitely go check out those in-depth reviews. And also, I have update that Comic Uno episode 12, humongous exclusive comics, because there are a lot of comics I read this week, 17 of them. So yeah, go check out Comic Uno episode 12, because here are the exclusive comics for that show, and that is the show where I review all the comics I read this week in one show, in a countdown type of version. So the comics that are exclusive are Ventriloquist, which is, I think, Dark Knight, Batman Dark Knight 23.1, Invincible, Poison Ivy, Detective Comics, issue 23.1, Gorilla Grodd, issue 23.1, Venom, issue 40, Trillium, issue 2, Count of Vertigo, issue 23.1 of Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Superior Foes of Spider-Man, issue 3. So yeah, so those exclusive comics for Comic Uno episode 12, but let's talk about the big issue, Forever Evil issue 1. Love this cover, great, seeing all the villains come together and Lex Luthor lead everything. Love the cover, it's perfect. So, and also had that glossy feel, and it's definitely worth the $4, $3.99, the extra $1. Let's see, and if anyone got the 3D cover for Forever Evil, I heard it's like $300, and like the comic book stores got like one. I wouldn't pay that for a 3D cover for Forever Evil, but if anyone did, tell me in the comments below, or if you got it for cheaper or something. But yeah, let's see what's going on in this story. We do get to see a Lex Luthor point of view, and I want to say this is the first issue I read this week, so I read it Wednesday, right when I got it. I'm like, I have to read Forever Evil, I'm so excited. So it's a Lex Luthor point of view. He talks about survival of the fittest, and so it shows what is this theme of this event. It's going to be survival of the fittest. Really it is, because it's a couple of months after Trinity War, it seems like, because the Justice League are dead, and then we're seeing all the cities go through life of villains taking over and superheroes not being there. So there are some superheroes left. We still have the Teen Titans, which we see in this issue. We still have Nightwing, which is kind of important. So Nightwing's actually trying to figure out, oh, where's Batman? He doesn't know that Justice League's dead, and the villains kidnap him. And the Secret Society's pretty much what this whole beginning of this issue is about. The Secret Society is recruiting all the villains to get out of jail and help them win the fight of evil. And again, Nightwing's got taken from some of the villains, and the Secret Society is all on TV, so there's still citizens there. It doesn't seem like in this issue, but there's still citizens watching and everything. And here, just a great fold out here of all the villains. Love this. I hope they make a poster out of this. Somewhere put it over there, right? And maybe a smaller poster, but yeah, so we get to see that Nightwing gets kidnapped by all the villains, everyone's watching, Teen Titans are watching, and Teen Titans are thinking, oh, what should we do? And here's really the shocker, so this is a spoiler. You know, what's going to happen to Nightwing? Now, they're actually thinking of killing off Nightwing, and I think this is better than killing off Nightwing. And they reveal the identity of Nightwing, Dick Grayson. So, also Batgirl's in this issue, so does this mean that Commissioner Gordon will find out who Barbara is, because I'm sure he knows who Dick Grayson is, and will people find out who Batman is because of this? Will the Bat family be all revealed because of this event? And this is how you do an event. That was the ending. Dick Grayson's identity is revealed. And also the moon's down next to the sun, so Lex Luthor is kind of upset. I think Lex Luthor honestly is going to end up being the hero. He's saying survival of the fittest, but I feel like in that ending, it seems like he might be like, alright, I want to be the villain who does this and destroy Superman. I don't want these people to do it. So I think that's where Forever Evil really is going to go. You know, there was the team-ups of the Justice League and Trinity War. Is it going to be Forever Evil? The team-ups of some different group of villains to the Secret Society? Maybe. But this week I had 3 issues I loved, and this was one of them. I loved this issue. It was really hard not to pick it as my pick of the week, but the 3 issues that I read, it was all really teamed up to really be my pick of the week. If I could pick all 3 of them as my pick of the week, I would. This is actually second on my list, only because there was more of a build-up in the beginning, and with the issue I picked up as a pick of the week, I was actually more surprised that it did better, and I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting this. So that got pick of the week because I wasn't expecting it to be good. But with this, it was amazing. It really was close to being my pick of the week, and I wish I could make it all those 3 issues my pick of the week. But the ending, this shows, I think with the event of another comic I picked as pick of the week, it both shows that you don't need death of a character, which I'm glad that they didn't kill off Nightwing. You don't need death of a character. You don't need conspiracies or controversy. You can just have something happen to a character that you wouldn't expect and make it a great story. And Forever Evil did that. Were we expecting Nightwing to get his identity revealed? What does this mean for the Bat family? You know, I thought that was really surprising, and I think that brings a great story for the Bat family and more for Forever Evil, and that's just a humongously great start for Forever Evil. I think one complaint I did have, though, was the art. It is David Finch. I'm not a humongous fan of his art. You do get a little used to it, but it's a little on the sketchy side. Hopefully I can find it, because some parts are really great, but here, like, Dick doesn't look the best, especially for a big event like Forever Evil. It's good art. It's just that was like my one small complaint, that I'm not a big David Finch fan for art, because I'm not a big fan of Justice League of America art. But I love this issue. I know the whole Dick Grayson reveal was so surprising, and again, this is how you do an event. You don't have to kill someone off. It's like, oh my god, someone's dead. You know, TV shows and comics tend to love to do that and just bring them back. But this is how you tell a story, and a different type of story. And I'm looking forward to Forever Evil. I give it 5 stars. It was an amazing issue. Action-packed. This is how you do an event. I was really surprised at the event stories that came out this week, because I didn't read Affinity, but the ones I did read were amazing, and all of my top 3. So better than even Villains Month. This is the best issue I read. One of the best issues I read this week. Again, the 3 issues that are my top 3 are the best issues I read this week, and probably one of the best issues I've read in a while. So pick up Forever Evil. This issue is probably better than Trinity War as a whole. I enjoy this issue that much. And, you know, I really like Trinity War. I thought it was a solid prelude, but this is just a great beginning for Forever Evil, and really showing what a big event can do, and what Jeff Johns could do. But I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno. Pick up this issue. Read this before you read your Villain Month issues, because it's really connected to some of the Villain Month stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno, and guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and the rant situations, and don't forget to like me on Facebook. See you guys later. Bye.